And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 672. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10ish.
And today's top stories. Bitcoin's compound annual growth is an unheard of 200% CAGR. Doge is now supported at 1,800 ATMs in 45 US states. Play by the rules or we will shut you down, says NYAG, the crypto industry. Coinbase custodies 11% of entire crypto capitalization. Thai SEC forced to clarify proposed crypto rules after public backlash. Moneygram faces lawsuit over alleged false statements regarding XRP. And last but not least, Bitcoin artist concludes 12 city billboard exhibit with $10,000 Bitcoin treasure hunt. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with these prices?
Oh, yeah. So jumping into the prices today, Bitcoin at $48,785 is up 1.5% today. Ethereum at $1,567 is up 2.6%. Cardano at 125, down 0.98%. Binance at $249 is down 0.11%. Polkadot at $37 is up 7% today. Ripple at 44 cents is up 2.6%. Litecoin at $180 is up 5%. Chainlink, the biggest winner so far, at $29.40 is up 11% today. And last but not least, Bitcoin Cash reclaimed a spot in the top 10 at $528, up 8%. So top 10, we're seeing a little bit of rebound. I don't think this is a promising push to push back above the all-time high. Not right now, but currently we are seeing a little bit of a jump in the prices of cryptos based on the dump from last week. So good to see. And again, don't panic.
And so what's going on with price? What's going on with Bitcoin right now? Bitcoin's compound annual growth is an unheard of 200% CAGR. What does that mean? And why is that important to us as investors, traders, whatever here in the industry?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So when I say don't panic, one of the things that you need to realize is that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is not a get rich quick scheme. This is something that takes time. And the reason why we tell people to take time is because over the time period that Bitcoin has been around, the compound annual growth, which is a measurement used in finance, is 200% annually, meaning that on average, if you use Bitcoin or hold Bitcoin, that you earn about 196.7% over 10 years, and Bitcoin's 10-year CAGR is unmatched in financial history. So shout out to Bitcoin making financial history. But again, this is why we say don't panic. This is the best performing asset by far in our lifetime, and of course for the last decade and this year. So again, when people talk about, hey, Bitcoin's going down, Bitcoin's volatile, I don't know what to do. Should I jump in and out? Should I trade it? Just remember, you're holding the most valuable asset in the world. So when you make your decision, think of it this way. And besides it being, oh, just some crypto I can flip. So that's what CAGR is, highest in financial history.
I was about to say, I don't know if it was just my computer or what, but you disappeared on me, but you just popped back. There it is. So yeah, shout out to Bitcoin. Again, people always want to say, talk about their feelings or their whatever. People want to talk about thoughts and feelings on Bitcoin, but the numbers, like that's what I love about cryptocurrency. Everything's zero and ones, people bits. We're talking about numbers. You can't lie. And the number being 196, 97% return on average per year for 10 years. Like you said, that is crazy. And the fact that hedge funds didn't jump on it, that's even crazier. Like, can you imagine this stat just came out this morning? You like, wait, it's on average 200% a year. And your hedge fund manager, or for those who just have a regular traditional investment accounts, they're talking about what, 15 to 20% a year on a good year? Crazy. As we also talk about price, Doge is now supported at 1,800 ATMs in 45 states.
Let's go.
Let's go Doge, right? But even more importantly, as we're going to bring up again today, as we did, I believe, yesterday, it's crazy to see all these Doge updates and the price is not pumping. This is when the price is pumping. Like, this is some news, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if it's more available, easier to buy, it only makes it more accessible and increases the value. But it's funny. Dogecoin had an update to make it faster. They got added to ATMs and nothing's happening with the price. Before, Dogecoin was just another coin, and then it pumped to holy hell just off of hype. And that's the crypto market for you. If the news has come out, it's too late. But I think if we do see another pump in Dogecoin, it'll be based off the fact that they have done these things. They have added it to ATMs. And I want to give a shout out to CoinFlip. They are, in my opinion, the best ATM company because they constantly add new coins and they have the cheapest fees. So it is a great place to buy Dogecoin if that's what you want to do. I would say buy Dogecoin, introduce it to your kids, give it to them. There you go.
Yeah, like you said, shout out to CoinFlip for not having any personal thoughts and feelings toward these projects. They like, all right, y'all like it, we'll add it. So that's cool to see. But again, we got to highlight that, people. This is the crypto market, and that's what's so crazy about it. And that's why we always even say when you talk about TA and all this other stuff, no amount of TA is going to fix the fact of how investors psychologically invest, and that is going with the strength of the billionaires, what they say, with the TV and news is saying, and whatever the fad is, as we can see, because Dogecoin was just pumping off of it being a fad. And now, like you said, they actually have real technical things going on. They're scaling, they're adding it to 1,800 ATMs. All this positive stuff's happening. And you're not hearing nothing about Doge. Cryptocurrency for you. Before we get this show really rolling, because I'm sure some of you have already saw the news, some of the top headlines, make sure we give some shout outs. What's going on, P-Man Band, Madam Crypto, Leroy Forbes, Alec G, Mickey Ross, Caught the Live. Here we go. Les Square, New Jersey in the house. Tommy Brown, Blues Lover, Tennis. Yeah, today was a tennis day, to be fair, though, because we were like talking so much smack about this top story today. Like we had already started showing our own, and we had to stop talking and go live. What's going on, the Kingdom Heirs, Tony Nolly, Crypto Kid, 216, Crypto Vixen, Diva Style. Good morning from South Cackalack. There we go. Devin Alice, new to the channel. You guys do good videos with good content. Thank you, Devin. Crypto Key, PJ Hall. Smash those likes and share. That is right. What's going on, Jamie Scott? And Horo Ima, peace and love to you. Fanteezy 731, Latosha Ray, Fumble the Face, Candace Blanton, Sierra, Above Promotions, Ross. There we go. As many as I could just now. Make sure you smash that like and share. All right. Without further ado, we got to get to it. Today's top story. One day after Black History Month, all right, or 2 days after Black History Month, they was like, we know who we're going to get to drop this news on them. Play by the rules or we will shut you down, says New York Attorney General to crypto industry. That is right. Letitia James said her office was sending a clear message to the entire industry. For one, I just want to point out, how this sounds like freedom to me. I love it. America, all right? This sounds like democracy and freedom to me, because as a country, we've already voted on our thoughts and sentiment when it comes to cryptocurrency. Apparently, that's what the New York AG is telling us. But again, this is the New York Attorney General. Letitia James is advising members of the crypto industry and investors to stay vigilant against participating in or becoming a victim of illegal activities. Oh, and by the way, illegal activities to New York when it comes to cryptocurrency is anything you do in cryptocurrency without paying New York. Like literally, by and large, everything is considered illegal to them when it comes to crypto. According to the New York Attorney General's office, James issued an alert to crypto investors today, warning them to, quote, exercise extreme caution when investing in virtual currencies. She referred to cryptocurrencies as high-risk, unstable investments that could result in devastating losses. It also included a warning to industry players that the AG would come down hard on firms skirting the law. She said that her new office had, quote, ended both Bitfinex and Tether's illegal activities, even though no one went to jail because things weren't illegal enough for jail. They were just illegal enough to get the money from them in New York. Referencing the companies agreeing to pay the state $18.5 million in damages last week. And then, of course, telling them about their finances for the rest of their years. By and large, you can see here, I want to add this last quote. We will not hesitate to take action against anyone who violates the law. We're sending a clear message to the entire industry that you either play by the rules or we will shut you down. Again, this is the same state that created a fake license for cryptocurrency companies. The guy who created that license, who was in the government, would later, 2 years later, go on to start his own private crypto consulting company, touting how he knew how to get around the licensing that he created, by the way. So they create some fake license out the blue, and they've only given it to like 12 or 13 companies in the last 3 to 4 years or whatever. They are literally not allowing companies to get this license in New York. They're not allowing Bitcoin ETFs. They're coming up with new rules and laws every day. They say the ICO market, after it takes off, is now a security based on a test from the 1800s, whatever. You know what I mean? And then you really have the audacity to come out, which is, to me, is a cry for help. This is essentially the U.S. trying to get ready to ban Bitcoin. But you come out and said either play by the rules, which no one even knows what the rules are at this point. It's still a very great market, or we will shut you down. Gang, 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 gang. All right. Like, if this ain't the most gangster statement I've ever read, play by the rules you don't know, or we're gonna come in. Listen, the bottom line is, Letitia James, is that if New York didn't have the largest police department in the world, no one would listen to you, period. If the United States didn't have the largest military in the world, no one would definitely be listening to you, period. And I go on as far to say, again, once these crypto companies and some of the people in crypto accumulate enough wealth, you're going to stop seeing this. Because I can tell you now, if I had enough money in crypto, I would call her on the FaceTime on live and be like, shut the hell up. And what are you talking about right now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say that, honestly, I'm going to play some devil's advocate a little bit. I don't think this is her talking. To me, she's a puppet, and she was told what to say. This is what she said. And one of my biggest problems with this entire statement is rules. Rules, bitch. Are you serious? Rules? That's what you bring up as the reason why crypto shouldn't be around? You want to talk about rules. Here it says,
you don't sit your ass in the back of the bus with your rules.
Exactly. The rules. I mean, look
you're
at this.
You're not even supposed
to exactly. Like, what are you talking about rules? I mean, even when they bring up Tether, falsely represented that each of its stable coins were fully backed one-to-one by US dollars in reserve at all times. You mean fractional reserve banking? You mean the actual practice that is being done by banks for decades? Because if you change Tether to dollars, in the case of dollars, the company falsely represented that each of it was fully backed one-to-one in reserve. Because we don't have fully backed one-to-one dollars. If we did, we wouldn't be in this predicament. We wouldn't have terrible inflation, and we would have had a real audit of the Federal Reserve. We've had none of that, but we still have people such as Letitia James coming out, doing the bidding for her overlords, because this is, in my opinion, not her speaking. Her overlords are saying, hey, you need to get out there and say, hey, crypto is illegal. If you use it, we're coming after you. And you should be scared if you're a regular person, because you're not smart enough to engage in investment, and you could lose your money. Even though we're taking your money anyway, you could lose it here as well. So again, this is Dino statement after Dino statement after Dino statement.
You don't even deserve a Dino.
And yeah, like, you don't even deserve the Dino, because at this point, like I said, we should start a new one and call the puppet of the day, because this is literally you speaking on behalf of your New York overlords, whoever they are, the bankers. So yes, Letitia James, you are definitely getting the Dino of the day today.
Yeah, and well, let's go ahead and give her that. Ooh.
Give it to her again.
Again, I want to highlight something you pointed out, and and again, I'm with you. She's definitely a puppet. Like, she got that tap on the shoulder so quick, but I don't want to. Hey, they gave her that. I was sitting in that same chair 23 years ago. All right, I did what it took to get here with the gold thing. You're gonna do what it takes to get here with the Bitcoin thing. But I'm glad you brought up the rules thing, because that is such a significant thing to bring up, especially the timing of it. Like, at the end of the day, Max Kaiser says, fiat is backed by war, Bitcoin is backed by peace. Like, Bitcoin is software, people. Where did it touch you? Like, I really want to know. It's
where did Bitcoin touch you?
Yeah, tell me what it did to you. Like, tell me. You can tell me, but like, it's software. It can't, like, you get what I'm saying? It is software. So the fact that they're riding this hard on software, could you imagine if Bitcoin had a CEO? Like, triple life sentence already. Like, never see the light of day. He might be getting tortured right now. So the fact that they're going this hard on software is crazy. The fact that she's bringing up rules in the times we've seen in the last few years, where people are literally saying, hey, we get the rules you wrote, but they're not fair. Like, a Black woman in this position to bring up rules 2 days after Black History Month. I got to say it. Like, literally, if you want to talk about rules, you aren't supposed to be the NYAG. You shouldn't know how to read. Like, you get what I'm saying? Why are you even walking around not fully clothed? Like, are we gonna talk about rules?
Because
Like,
those were the rules 100 years ago.
You know what I mean? And let's go by the same rules that are around when the Howey test came out, since we're going by the same security laws and rules. So 1850, Letitia, you shouldn't be allowed to talk at all about this. Like, really look in the mirror and consider that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is trying to make a way so that in some countries, in some places where you have these rules that make entirely no sense, but people for some reason still live by it, they now have a way to be financially autonomous and a way to circumvent those rules that make no sense. So again, this is crazy. Like you said, she definitely got that tap on the shoulder.
I would say if we just use the rules from Howey test era, she could get beat by her husband as long as the stick wasn't as thick as a thumb.
I grew up. I remember that North Carolina school system teacher when I came down. I was like, y'all teaching people this?
I would say let's just go back to rules from before. Rules were made to be broken when they impede the progress of people who elect the people who make these rules. So, in my opinion, she earned that Dino today. Come on, man, you gotta get out of here. It's supposed to be Melon in March. I know last year it was Black History Month. Now it's Melon in March, and you messing it up.
It's Women's History Month too. It's even crazy.
Oh man, she's not gonna go down in women's history because of this.
Man, yes. Saladin El Rahim said it's the issue of control that get these people panties in a bunch. That's what it really is. And when it comes to that issue of control, that is how gangsters feel and act, dude. This is why I'm gonna keep screaming gang, gang until the US government stops acting like a gang. All right, this is crazy. Wendy Nichols said, I need to send her the book. Yeah, everybody was saying that you need to send her that Bitcoin in Black America. She definitely needs to read Bitcoin in Black America.
Yeah, I'll shoot a PDF over there.
Right. Blues Lover said New York needs tax revenue, so they will penalize for money. Listen, if you send Bitcoin in Black America over there, tomorrow morning they might be like books on the banned FBI list. All right. We see you with it. If we see you with it, we whooping on you. All right. Tessa Hall said the Howey test is older than all of us in here. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And again, people, the Howey test, like, that's a rule from the 1800s, but we'll get back to that later. All right, Coinbase custodies 11% of entire crypto capitalization, and more Coinbase news as they prep for this IPO.
Oh man, yeah, it looks as though Coinbase is making sure they're in the news before this IPO. They just put out the story that they own as much as 11% of the entire crypto market capitalization in custody at the end of last year. They offer custody for over 90 crypto assets, and the value of those assets spiked to roughly 90 billion in the fourth quarter. And despite the wide variety of assets, Masari found that Bitcoin and Ethereum account for 83% of the cryptocurrency held with Coinbase. So this shouldn't be surprising to anybody. They are a crypto exchange. They have a lot of crypto. All right, who cares? But one thing you do want to consider is the fact that some of these big companies are getting large chunks, like Grayscale, like Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, Coinbase is another. And again, when they're going for an IPO, you want as much good news out as possible. And if somebody's like, hey, this exchange owns 10% of all the crypto, then that looks good for them. However, long term, you do want to make sure you realize this will not last. It will be spread out. We're already seeing record numbers of Bitcoin and crypto being taken off their exchange and moved to other places. So I don't think this will last long, but this is the case now.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out is that it's kind of scary, but we're getting back to that centralization, people. If you want to talk about, let's say Coinbase and a couple other large exchanges, if something were to happen to all that crypto, they were custody, or if they were to decide to be like, we out and we keep y'all crypto and we're moving to Russia or something, Malta, like you can't do nothing about it. We won't be able to do nothing about it. And I think we'll go to like a 3 to 5 year bear market again before people realize there's nothing wrong with crypto. We literally just have to store it, stop storing it in centralized places. But this is good news to see. And it's also a great stress test for them because I can pretty much guarantee that hackers are coming after Coinbase right now as this article comes out. Like, oh, y'all own that much. All right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a nest egg on Ready Player One.
You know what I mean? Y'all private company too. What? This ain't no government, not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you gotta do it before they go public because once they go public, US not playing that. All right. And just to be clear, people, I misquoted, I misstated. I knew I was going a little bit too far back. I think that Howey test is it was actually made in the 1946. It refers to a 1946 case in which the Supreme Court in the SEC versus WJ Howie Company. Kind
You
of
talking
figure
about when the
that
top
out.
singer in the world was Bojangles? And
Hilarious. Oh, I was still gonna say, listen, I still was gonna say, I'm pretty sure 1946 that was still in play. The back of the bus was still in play, and the reading probably was still in play as well. So I wasn't too far off when it came to those things.
Oh yeah.
All right. More rules. Thai SEC forced to clarify proposed crypto rules after public backlash. There we go.
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about a country, they throwing chairs. Hey, we ain't hearing none of that. What y'all talking about? Financial regulators in Thailand may adjust the minimum annual income qualification for crypto investors amid public outrage. That's right. Looks like Thailand Securities and Exchange Commission has walked back previous plans to enact a 1 million baht, about $33,000 minimum annual income requirement for crypto investment in the country. According to a report by the Bangkok Post on Tuesday, the commission has clarified that the previous draft document was published to gauge investor sentiment. Just to give you all an idea, and this is pure anecdotal evidence. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but I would venture out to say 33,000 for Thai citizens is probably the same as like 200,000 for American citizens. Like that value exchange is crazy, and not a lot of people in that country make a lot of money. I mean, I've been around in the area, and $1 will get you a mixed drink. 25 cents will get you a beer. So to say they need to make $33,000 minimum for a crypto investment was crazy. And as the story says, it looks like they weren't having that either, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely not. And of course, there was outrage from crypto stakeholders in the country. They bemoaned the proposed rule, saying it would exclude low and middle income earners from the cryptocurrency market. Exactly. According to the SEC executive, the commission did not have any intention of setting 1 million baht as an annual income qualification standard for crypto. This is sort of like when you say something serious, and then as soon as people push back, you're like, "Oh, I was just playing.
I was just
playing. Just playing. No, you wasn't. You wanted to see if people would actually push back. They did. And when most of the people in your country don't meet this standard, this is the pushback that should happen. The problem is in the USA, people don't realize this, but if you're not an accredited investor, you don't have access to the best investments until now, because Bitcoin and cryptocurrency opened up Pandora's box for anybody to invest in anything. You have that freedom. However, you have countries who still are going with the old way of doing things, the old 1940, 1930, however far back they want to go way of doing things in the SEC. We need to regulate it. We need to make sure people investing have a certain amount of money. Garbage, to say the least. And of course, this is just an example of pushback from people working. We've seen it in Nigeria. We've seen it in Venezuela. We've seen it in India. We've seen it in a bunch of places outside of the US where the people have risen up and said, no, we need this. And we're a little spoiled here in the US, but I believe that day will come for us too, where you have to make a decision. Do I want to go with what my government's telling me, or do I want to actually have an open finance system? And I think this is a good representation of that from the Thai SEC. And we'll see once they walk it back, what actually happens.
There it is. All right. Moneygram faces lawsuit over alleged false statements regarding XRP. Wow. I think we'll see more of this. What's going on with Moneygram right now?
Oh, man. So for those of you who were all gung-ho about XRP back in the day because Moneygram, you made a partnership with Moneygram. Well, now Ripple partner Moneygram is facing a lawsuit alleging the firm issued misleading statements and failed to disclose XRP status as an unlicensed security. Payments company Moneygram has been sued regarding its partnership with Ripple Labs. The class action lawsuit was filed yesterday in California and submitted on behalf of investors who purchased securities from Moneygram between June 2019 and February 2021. According to the Post, a strategic partnership between the two companies utilizes Ripple's XRapid product. And they went on to quote here, Moneygram does not utilize the ODL platform on RippleNet for direct transfers of consumer funds, digital or otherwise. Furthermore, Moneygram is not a party to the SEC action. So if you think XRP's partnerships were legit or that they actually increased their value, here we go. They're getting hit with a lawsuit because they were even associated with Ripple. This is why I think they won't have any partnerships in the US long term, because anybody associated with them could get hit with a lawsuit for an unregistered security. And in my opinion, anybody who's invested in a company that ended up partnering with XRP is going to have trouble at some point, and this is just the start. However, Moneygram, they can afford this lawsuit, and they can get it over with and get it out the way. Ripple, on the other hand, they got a dogfight coming up with the SEC.
That's right. These are definitely federal government games right here. I mean, this is how you beat them. Like literally how you beat them. You drain them out. You drain out their blood, their lifelines, and that's what you do. You make those ancillary attacks, like part of a federal attack, or whether it's a court case or an actual kinetic attack, is to get rid of your supply line, everybody around you. All right, as we take down XRP and Ripple, we're also going to go after all their partners. This is the same thing we do when we sanction a country. It's a country we were sanctioning, and anybody out there who do business with them, you know what time it is. So Ripple's getting that work. MoneyGram's getting that work as well. And I think the SEC is probably at this point have already created a list of companies that Ripple are working with, the bigger companies in the U.S., and they're probably starting to go down that list one at a time. Give them that phone call, send that paperwork, and following it up like you got a serious decision you need to make in the next 2 to 3 hours. We're not even giving you a couple of weeks or days. You can let me know before I hang up this phone if I need to send a SUV over your way. So again, seriously, I believe this is going to be the problem with Ripple going forward as well. Maybe they are solid. Maybe they are not a security. Maybe you all believe in them, right? But what I keep trying to tell you is that when CBDCs roll out, XRP is in direct competition. Now, unlike Bitcoin, who they can't find a CEO of or somebody to really pinpoint and squeeze them out, they can for Ripple. They got Brad Garlinghouse. They got some of their team members. They got some of the companies, some of the people who work for them. So with that, this is why we say we don't think it will continue to be tradable or a success long-term as the U.S. starts to strengthen its choke around it. So only time will tell. Some quick comments real quick. Gervais Wright, this is supposed to be for the people and by the people. Talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. They use threatening and intimidating language to scare people into not doing something. And that's what's crazy. That's our own government using threatening and intimidating language to scare people into not doing things. So I guess all we can say against that New York AG is calm down, Jamal. Don't grab the 9.
And before we move forward, we got to get the likes up. We got to get the likes up. We got 184 watching. 93 likes. We should have at least 150.
Smash those likes.
Don't be a lurker. Hit that like, baby.
You just sitting there, click on that thumbs up. Alex G said, you guys will understand this is a gang. It's a gang thing. For real. That's what's hilarious. I do want to know how the conversation went because like you said, it was a clear tap on the shoulder. She didn't just wake up one morning, March 2nd, Women's History Month or whatever. Isn't it like Women's something month? Yeah. Women's Appreciation. She didn't just wake up and say, how can I shit on the crypto market? Like she didn't just wake up and say that, like, which is even crazier because this is the New York Attorney General. So she only has a few people higher than her in government people. So who was that person who got the tap on the shoulder as well to come to her? I mean, we are literally watching Billions season 6 right in front of us right now. So there we go.
Oh, yeah. Letitia Paul Giamatti.
What's going on, Black Crypto? Cary, North Carolina, Bitcoin to the moon. There we go. Cary in the house. Let's see. What's going on, Satoshi X? Too Rich to Miss, Crypto Key, Jizzy Matt, Wendy Nichols. There we go. Kairos Action. Ruben M. Perez says subscribe, share, and like. There we go. What's up, Eastside Tony? Ryan Cooper. What's going on? Lonzo McNeil, S1 Dubs. Satoshi will be getting the Jack Ma treatment if he was public. Listen, if Satoshi was public, the U.S. would have tied him to the back of a horse already and just had him going through the plains somewhere in Buffalo. All right, last but certainly not least, Bitcoin artist concludes 12-city billboard exhibit with $10,000 Bitcoin treasure hunt. What is going on with this crypto graffiti treasure hunt? This looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. So crypto graffiti has actually went to all 12 of the Federal Reserve Bank cities. And as it says here, off a busy highway in a blue-collar neighborhood just outside of San Francisco, a billboard emblazoned with a giant $1 bill overlooks the city's cracked asphalt. But as you notice from the hooded George Washington on the bill, the billboard houses no ordinary dollar. In fact, this altered dollar is the start of a $10,000 treasure hunt. And again, like I stated before, this billboard is a series of 12 in different Federal Reserve branch cities, including Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas, Kansas City, Minneapolis, New York, Philadelphia, Richmond, San Francisco, and St. Louis. So if you live there, you will see crypto graffiti's United Nodes of Bitcoin Peace. And each epigraph is an aphorism shibboleth or call to action that will be familiar to most Bitcoiners. And I believe we have one of our warriors who found one of those things in the treasure hunt. I believe Eastside Tony did. So this is real. This is not like something somebody put up for publicity. Eastside Tony actually found one of the clues to get that 10,000 in Bitcoin. So hopefully he finds the rest of the clues and can win it. One of our warriors winning would be great. And
that would
this
be
is just
amazing.
I mean, this is just a part of the creativity of the Bitcoin world. Imagine if there are corporate sponsors or corporate people who have a lot of Bitcoin and they want to promote themselves. Well, what do you think they'll do? They'll have a treasure hunt with billboards. I can see Elon Musk now with a bunch of billboards and treasure hunt to find one Bitcoin, and everybody around the world will probably quit their job just to find this one Bitcoin.
Right.
So this is just a part of the creativity. But I will say, we actually came up with this idea in 2017 to do a treasure hunt
I
in
remember
LA.
that. You came up with it. Bitcoins, they did come up with this idea.
Yeah, and the only problem at the time was would people actually look for it? That was the thing. Was like we might put it out, but it might sit there forever. But I think we should have did it. It might have lasted years, but yes, this treasure hunt is great and another creative way for people to get into the industry and learn about the space.
It might be time to revisit. I do have to give you props. And I remember that Bitcoin they did have a treasure hunt ideal. And yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, bro, ain't nobody about to go look for no Bitcoin. It's crazy. You're right. If we had, imagine what that was to active. Like, remember, we've been hiding Bitcoin since 2017 around the US. It's like, wait, what? Bro, at this point, the amount of Bitcoin we were giving away, we might have had like 30, 40K hidden around somewhere, not even know. All right.
Absolutely.
Other than that, that is the show for today. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for smashing that like and share. Eastside Tony said memes are the new marketing, the advertising. Crypto Rasputin said love the crypto art. Art can help popularize Bitcoin and defeat the Fed. Exactly. So this is all cool to see. Crypto art has been huge so far. We know that with NFTs. Other than that, like we said, thanks for watching, people. Make sure you smash that like and share. You got any news, Bitcoin Zay?
Yes, tonight me and King will be on Fox Soul TV with the Tammy Mack Show discussing what is cryptocurrency part 2. Part 1 was great. You can check it out. Part 2 will be tonight. And then remember, Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern, Talk Shop Live, the Gentleman of Crypto weekly roundup. So just remember those two. Catch us tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific.
There it is. As always, thanks for watching. Smash that like and share, and we will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers.